Okay. Continuing on with the fast attack choices. The next one, this is probably one of the weirdest ones, is Beastmasters. It's an improvement on the last edition's book of Warp Beast packs, which were atrocious. A lot of strength 4 attacks for 75 points for a full unit. Now there's a lot more selection. The Beastmaster himself is basically just a Hellion Skyboarder, but he actually moves like a beast instead of like jump infantry. And then he's got Clawed Fiends, which are basically it's the pain is good guys. The more wounds they've taken, they get more attacks. They have 4 wounds apiece. They start out with 4 attacks. So if you put 3 wounds on them, it's 7 attacks, 8 on the charge. So they can be pretty dangerous. They're Strength 5, Toughness 5, Weapon Skill 4. They're Initiative 5. The whole army's damn fast. Low save. All the beasts have a 6+ armor save. The Chimera, he actually is interesting because he's got a 4+ invulnerable save. And Chimera are Chimera are basically warp beasts, but with the 4+ invulnerable save. They have 3 strength 4 attacks, a weapon skill 4, initiative 6. They're fast, with a lot of attacks, and they're actually durable as far as these go.
But not to be confused with the tank.
And then the Razor Wing Flock, which is the last one. Dark Eldar now have swarm bases, but Razor Wing Flocks have rending. They've got 5 attacks, 5 wounds, initiative 5, strength 3, toughness 3, weapon skill 4. So they're it's a little swarm of, I guess you could just razor wings, some kind of nasty bird or bat or something like that.
Just something equally nasty looking.
I'm not a fan of the unit, but I've heard people people suggest you can use them as stuff to take out lighter armored units and stuff like that. The unit doesn't have much armor killing potential as far as killing a Space Marine or Necrons or Grey Knights or anything like that. Or definitely not Terminators. Not to say that it couldn't shoot through some lower strength, lower toughness, lightly armored troops, and even medium armored troops. I'd take the strength 5, toughness 5. Clawed Fiend against a bunch of Fire Warriors and stuff like that, or Stormtroopers.
Any guardsmen?
Hell yeah. And the Chimera are cool just because they have the vulnerable save, so they can
lock up something in combat.
Lock up something, or they can be a fireman. Just dangle it out in front of them and hope they shoot at it and be like, oh my god, I have an invulnerable save. Which also, they can get there. They all the whole unit. Is beasts, so they've all got the fleet. It's a fast, crazy, wacky close combat unit, just like Warp Beasts were. Except now instead of being an elite choice and having a weird restriction, they're a fast attack choice, which makes more sense, and it makes them a little bit more viable option. And then the last fast attack option, which is awesome. These guys are now fast attack. Is Scourges.
Personally, it's one of the units I fear the most in the kind of player I am.
Same deal. Deep striking warriors, basically. They have a Shard Carbine, which is range 18, assault 2, poison 4+. They have Ghost Plate armor, which is a 4+ armor save, and in addition to the 4+ armor save, they get a 6+ invulnerable save from the Ghost Plate armor. And they've got plasma grenades, fleet, night vision, power from pain, all the normal stuff. But the unit, since you can deep strike, you can give them a heat lance, you can give them blasters, and having it pop behind, let's say a Lehman Russ or a Land Raider or something like that.
It'd be a very nasty surprise, or even a squad of Terminators.
And it wouldn't be a very nice thing. You can get up to 2 heat lances or blasters in the unit, and the Solarite, which is the leader, can take a blast pistol. So you can have up to possibly 3 lance weapons in this unit that can deep strike down and really cause some mess. They can still take the heavy weapons they could before. They can still take dark lances. They can still take splinter cannons. But the point of a deep striking unit taking a heavy weapon, to me, has always been kind of pointless. The deep strike down. They're aware they have a heavy weapon, and then, oh crap, shoot the bastards! And, well, they still only have a 4+, a 6+ invulnerable save. I guess that's a little bit more survivable. Look, I took a las cannon shot to the chest! Beautiful!
Yeah,
I live! Where's the rest of the squad? Oh shit.
It's better than, hey, it's better than what my elites are.
The big deal for Scourges for me now is they're no longer a heavy support choice, which makes sense. They needed to be a fast attack, and they needed to be a fast attack bad. And that's it for the fast attack choices. And then we'll move on to the elites.
And we're going to start off with possibly my favorite Dark Eldar unit.
It's one of the models that it was one of the models when they released the range that I had one complaint about. But you know, the rest of the models fantastic, which are the Incubi. I don't really like the horns on the Incubi too much. I think they're a little excessive as far as
but
going with the theme of the army. I don't think everybody needs to be a beast man or have goat horns or crap like that. Look at my chaos horns. But they kept the white masks that they had in the last edition. They definitely have a different weapon. Before they had the big stupid halberds, and now they have the claves, these big two-handed swords,
which are scary.
It's still the same rules as the halberds from last edition, which is +1 strength, power weapon. The only difference now is these guys lost their Tormentor helms, which was the pistol helmet, which gave them an additional attack. Instead of having that, they just decided to give them an extra attack. So now all Incubi have 2 attacks apiece. They have a 3+ armor save still. But the big change that they made with Incubi was now they can fleet of foot. So now they don't slow your Archon down. They can get into combat a lot faster. Which, by the way, is terrifying.
Unless they get by a tank.
I don't like losing 5 Incubi in one turn, man. That sucks. Especially when they're 22 points a model. They used to be 25 points a model. That was bad. But also before they were, remember, for any other Dark Eldar players out there, they were a bodyguard upgrade before. They were not an elite choice. You had to have an Archon, which means for people like me who play Witch Cult, you didn't see these guys. I liked them in the last book. They were a powerful unit. What sucked about them was the lack of fleet. But also what sucked was that they weren't the elite choice. They were a bodyguard upgrade for Archons. Not Archites. Archons. That sucked. The unit leader is almost a must for this unit. Because unlike other unit leaders, as opposed to just, giving a leadership boost, which he does give a leadership boost, he does what the Aspect Warriors leaders do. He gives the unit an ability. In addition, he can be given Demi-Claves, which
+2 attack.
Which is either +2 attacks, still a power weapon, or he can wield them together to receive +2 strength. Which is not bad for him at all. He can be given a Bloodstone, which is a flamethrower. That's Strength 3, AP 3, Assault 1. The expensive upgrade. And then they have powers. And my personal favorite is Onslaught, which is on a turn that you charged in an assault, any to wound roll of a 6 made by an Incubi or the Clavix, which is the squad leader, generates a bonus attack. So with 3 attacks on the charge, plus any other bonuses you might be receiving, you can get a lot of attacks out of this unit. And these are all power weapons with +1 strength, so you're perfectly capable of wiping out a Marine squad in one turn.
Or a full Terminator squad if you ever see those.
I actually wiped out an entire 9-man Raptor squad and a Chaos Lord in a single round of combat with an 8-man Incubi squad and an Archon. There's a homunculi there too, but he's there for different purposes. And then the other one is Murderous Assault. You can nominate an independent character at the beginning of each round of combat, and you gain the entire unit, or the Clivex actually. This is the weaker power. He gains the preferred enemy rule when attacking that character. And honestly,
no point in taking.
No point in taking when I could just be like, well, look, for every 6 I roll the wound, I get more attacks. Nasty unit now that they can take fleet, or now that they have fleet, and they're still power weapon toting, power armor wearing Dark Eldar. The whole unit's weapon skill 5, leader's weapon skill 6, which is disgusting. They're fast. The one problem they have is they do not have plasma grenades, and they don't have the option for plasma grenades. So my Archon has to end up spending points on taking a Phantasm grenade launcher for the unit, because the offensive grenades and the defensive grenades, really more the offensive grenades, are so important for this unit that needs to be able to charge. If I need to charge through cover, which is, there's so freaking much of it in 5th edition, it seems to me, that it's just a must.
You don't want a couple guardsmen beating the crap out of a expensive unit like that.
No, I definitely don't want that. And then the next elite choice is an interesting one. They're more useful now than they were before, but they're still really just kind of an interesting unit. I mean, it's Mandrakes. The models look fantastic. They look beautiful.
They're not quite as fabulous as they used to be.
Gag ball, BDSM, gear. Oh yeah, that was awesome. I could just imagine, fielding unit of them. What the hell are those? Oh, they're guys that shove anal beads up their asses and run around the field saying, "Look where I am! Can you tell?" But now they're these weird, almost demon Dark Eldar that come out of shadows. They're really not Dark Eldar anymore. They're something completely different. They're strength 4 base. They've got a bunch of attacks. They have no armor save, but they make up for that by having a 5+ invulnerable save, which is why I say they're demons. Because pretty much in fantasy 40k, if you have a 5+ invulnerable save and you look weird, you're a fucking demon. If the unit gets a pain token, in addition to getting their first effect, they get a ranged attack. This is an interesting little. It's range 18, strength 4, AP 4, assault 2 pinning. They shoot ice out of their hands. That's what the Codex describes it as ice. But if you look at the models, it looks like they're shooting fire. But it's called Veil Blast. They've got all kinds of abilities that kind of represent their shadow melding. They've got infiltrate, move through cover, stealth, and they, that allows them to move in from table edges or be put in a position that they can get to units quickly. But they're just they don't have a power weapon still, and at least I don't even know if the leader can take a power weapon.
But I believe they have their hero that's got the power weapon.
Yeah, he's interesting. I'm glad he made it back, actually. And no, they still can't take a power weapon, so they have a hard time against heavily armored stuff. But they're a neat little unit. I don't think I'd ever field them. I want some models, though, as far as for painting and stuff like that. They look fantastic. And I don't want to hear any shouts that their pants look weeaboo. I already fucking know. But then other elites. One that I wasn't really too happy to see show up, despite the fact that it made sense, was the Harlequins. I don't really need to describe this unit. It's the exact same one as in the Eldar Codex. Now it's cool that they've expanded on the fluff, and they're in the book now, really cementing the fact that the two races
work together.
Do have a connection through the Harlequins. There's even talks about how the Harlequins bring the Dark Eldar to battles in the fluff. And of course, the Dark Eldar have their own reasons for being there, but it's interesting to see that this is what brings the two sections of the race together.